This episode was made possible by Audible. Get a free audiobook of your choice with a 30-day free trial at audible.com/secondthought. This is Bagel. We think he's a healer pit mix, and he's about as far from a wolf as you can get. He's very obedient, super friendly, and not aggressive at all. We know that humans played a role in creating the modern domesticated dog, but how exactly did we go from a wild, fearsome, and capable hunter to these guys? Alright, so we're on our way to the Fort Worth Zoo, and we're going to meet with somebody who can give us a bit more information on when dogs became a genetically distinct group from wolves. I'm super excited because there's a chance I'll actually get to meet a wolf in person, which is awesome. I love animals. This is going to be cool. Couple fun facts while we're driving. First, a lot of people think that some dog breeds, like Alaskan Malamutes and Huskies, are a lot closer to their wolf ancestors than other breeds. That's actually not the case. Everything from Chihuahuas to Great Danes all differ from their common ancestor by about the same degree of separation. Also, contrary to popular belief, modern dogs did not come from any of the living wolf species we see today. The gray wolf is the closest currently living relative to modern dogs, but their ancestors are actually thought to be an extinct form of wolf that lived during the late Pleistocene era. One other fact that I think is really cool is that we didn't just befriend these ancient wolves once, which then spread around the world. Nope, we did it twice, simultaneously in completely different regions. The current thinking is that an initial population split into East and West Eurasian wolves. These were then domesticated separately before the wolves went extinct. Our best estimate for this event is anywhere between 14,000 and 6,400 years ago. This western population was then slowly and partially replaced by the eastern population as humans brought them west. Okay, so not 10 minutes before I got here, I got a call from our wolf expert saying she needed to reschedule. Kind of a pain since we drove all the way out here, but I don't know, hopefully I'll be able to come back out and reschedule it before this video goes live. But since we're here, let's go find some wolves. Well, that was a tremendous waste of time. Took about an hour to find the wolf enclosure. I got there, turns out it was too hot for him and he wasn't out. Honestly, the whole visit was kind of just sad. There was a jaguar and a coyote just kind of pacing across their 10-foot enclosure. I don't know if I'm gonna come back here. Okay, here's a happier place to record. Dog park. Should have probably come here in the first place. Go get it. For as much time as we spend with dogs, and as much as we know about them as a species, the scientific community is still divided on a lot of their history. Were they really domesticated twice, or was there just one initial population and we've missed some of the evidence? When did the modern dog as we know it really separate from its wolf brethren? Since ancient dogs and wolves are so similar in body size and structure, and we have limited fossil evidence, it's very hard to tell when the real turning point was. Obviously, it was a gradual process, but as of right now, we can't even narrow down the potential timeline to anywhere less than a several thousand-year span. One point of contention that some people have with a statement we made earlier in the video is that there are some dog breeds that are less changed physically from wolves than others. Yes, a husky definitely has more wolf-like features than a teacup poodle. The distance from their wolf ancestors is roughly the same, it's just some dog breeds have been selectively bred away from those wolf-like traits. If you're looking for the least changed dog breeds currently living, you'd be right to guess Husky and Malamute, but the list also includes the Chow Chow, Akita, and Shiba Inu. But let's get down to the big question. Where did dogs really come from? As we've learned, we don't know the exact time frame, but we do know that they were the very first domesticated life form. Before food animals, before crops, and most definitely before cats domesticated us. All of humanity's other domestication endeavors came after we had settled into an agricultural lifestyle. The evidence we have suggests that wolves first began to cooperate with humans while we were still hunter-gatherers. This is where things get a little foggy. How exactly did we make friends with these dangerous animals? Popular opinion used to be that we mighty humans established our dominance over the wolves and forced them to work for us. But more recently, it's been suggested that the wolves may have domesticated themselves. Hunting for food is hard and takes tremendous amounts of energy. Scavenging is easier, especially when you have a tribe of humans nearby who always seem to have piles of meat on hand. Some experts believe that the more inquisitive and trusting wolves slowly got accustomed to human activity and began stealing bits of food, and eventually accepting food from the humans. Over the generations, these friendly wolves became more docile, more trusting of humans, and eventually began to live among them. Somewhere along the line, these wolves stopped interacting with their wilder counterparts and became a distinct group. These newly domesticated canines were used as hunting partners, guard dogs, and eventually just companions. Humans slowly bred them for desirable traits. Despite how closely we associate dogs with barking, it actually wasn't a common trait in early dogs. They would howl, whimper, and growl like wolves, but dogs were selectively bred for their willingness to bark, thus creating an effective guard dog. Over the centuries, dogs became less work-oriented and more often seen as family pets. We began to breed them for appearance, or for intelligence, or temperament. The results are pretty apparent. There are at least 340 different breeds today, and more designer dogs are being invented pretty frequently. We've had 2 new breeds recognized by the American Kennel Club just this year. The question of when exactly dogs became genetically distinct from wolves has puzzled scientists for decades. But over the years, we've slowly pieced together a more complete history of our favorite furry friends. We may not ever know the full story, but at least we can all agree that we're glad a few friendly wolves decided to introduce themselves. If you want to learn more about the history of dogs, check out Audible's huge selection of audiobooks. I can personally recommend Domesticated by Richard C. Francis. It explains how, without our domestication of plants and animals, human civilization as we know it wouldn't exist. The author discusses agriculture, food animals, and of course man's best friend, and how it pays to be domesticated in a world dominated by humans. You can get this book or another of your choice completely free when you start a free trial with Audible. I like Audible because instead of having to sit down and actively read books, I can listen to them while I'm out running errands, or driving to the zoo, or playing frisbee with my dogs. Audible helps you listen to more books by letting you switch seamlessly between devices, picking up exactly where you left off. Whether it's on your phone, through your car, from a tablet, or at home on an Amazon Echo, you can get through tons of books hands and eyes free while doing almost anything. Audible members get a credit every month good for any audiobook in the store, regardless of price, and unused credits roll over to the next month. Didn't like your audiobook? You can exchange it, no questions asked. Plus, your books are yours to keep. With Audible, you can go back and re-listen anytime, even if you cancel your membership. Start a 30-day trial and your first audiobook is free. Visit audible.com/secondthought or text Second Thought to 500-500. I know this episode was a very different style than my usual content, so be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. If this is your first time visiting, consider subscribing to keep up to date with the latest content, and click the bell so you get notified for each new video. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.